Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, the Runt Troopa, and today we're gonna be talking game modes. Game modes that are not in Gears that I would like to see, some new, some returning, some with a twist, and some party games, because Gears doesn't have any. And this goes without saying, but this would be for Gears 5. So with that said, let's get into it. So first up, Free For All. I already talked about this in one of my other videos, but I don't think it should come back as we saw it in Judgment. It needs to have more of a twist. Each player should have 4 lives, and it should be a lobby of 8 players, and the last player standing wins. Now, I do think there should be a bonus for the player who gets the most kills though. And kills only count if you finish them off, not if you get them down and someone else finishes them off. I know that's kind of an iffy thing to say, but I think that would make the game more interesting. It should have those execution rules where you have to be really close to finish them off. Okay, now let's talk about the return of Wingman. Yes, Wingman. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Wingman needs to change, but I do think these changes could improve Wingman overall for the better. Wingman would still be a round-based game mode with 5 teams of 2. So the way I see it, each player has 1 life per round. But if your team is eliminated first, then you don't make it to the next round. So that means each round starts with fewer and fewer people on the map. And for that final round, it comes down to a 2v2. So for example, you have team A, B, C, D, and E. And let's say in the first round, team B gets eliminated first. Then at the next round, it's only team A, C, D, and E. And in this round, team A gets eliminated first, so they don't make it to the next round. So now it's just C, D, and E. And now let's say E gets eliminated first on that round, so now it's just C, D left. And it's the final round, so whoever wins between C and D wins the whole game. And that's basically it. I think that would improve Wingman overall and make it just a whole lot funner. Alright, but now let's move on to new game modes. Now I have 4 new game modes. And let's start off with the ones that I think would be best suitable for competitive play. So this next one I've been calling Territories. And basically what this game mode would do is break the map into sections that you have to conquer, except these sections don't consist of spawn points or weapon spawns, and spawn points would be safe zones for the team that has that spawn point. At the beginning of each round, all territories are set to neutral, but depending on the territory, it will take more or less time to capture, and the bigger the territory, the more points you get, so it's a high risk, high reward situation. And if it's an enemy territory, it'll take even more time to capture, and every 10 seconds you get points, and depending on how many territories and how big they are, depends on how many points you will get. And the way you would win this game mode is either by reaching the score limit or capturing all territories. And this next feature of this game mode, I'm a little iffy about, but could be interesting. So basically, if you die behind enemy lines, then there should be some sort of penalty for it. And I have 2 ideas for the penalties if you die behind enemy lines, and one is just a longer spawn time. That's pretty easy. But the other one is if you die behind enemy lines, you drop some tags and your teammate has to go pick up those tags and then come back to your side before you can spawn back in. Or they could just capture the territory in which you died in and you'll instantly be able to come back in. So there's one game mode I came up with for competitive. Now let's talk about the other one. So this game mode I've been calling Generator. And basically the way this game mode works is each team has a generator that they have to defend from being deactivated. And the generator would take 100 seconds to deactivate. The reason it takes 100 seconds to deactivate is because the generator is connected to the lives, and each team has a pool of lives of 100. So basically, if you deactivate it 50%, then the team loses 50 lives. And that also means if you get kills, then that also goes towards deactivating the generator. And the team that loses all their lives first loses. Unless the time limit is reached, then the team with more lives wins by default. And yeah, that's basically it. Just make it 2 rounds and there you go. Okay, now I want to talk about party games. These are some of the more crazy ones. And this first one I've been calling Swarmed. And basically it's the same thing as Infected, but slightly different. It starts off as 9 versus 1. Cogs have pistols, and the one infected is a Swarm Imago. And he has a Lancer. So as soon as he gets a kill, that player he killed comes into his team as a juvie, and now that he has a teammate, the next time he dies, he'll respawn as a juvie as well. And for each kill that the swarm get, the COG character weapons either change or become slightly upgraded to be more effective. And to change it up a bit from the traditional infective game mode, I'm thinking there could be a nest that the COG have to destroy, and the nest is actually by the COG spawn point. Now this nest would have to have quite a bit of health, and since the COG characters would have such weak weapons at the start of the game, the swarm team won't have to worry too much about the COGs being able to destroy their nest. And the nest can also affect gameplay. The way it would affect it is because if a juvie gets to that nest, it can climb inside and then come out as a swarm imago. And there's one party game mode right there. Now for the other one, I've been calling it Cleaver. You know, like the thing those butchers used in Gears 2 and 3. So this one is essentially just tag. Yeah, like the playground game. Well, not entirely. It is going to have an element of free-for-all to it. So for this, every character on the map can kill each other, except there's COG and then there's one person who is it. The COG characters have snub pistols, the it character has a cleaver, and they also have increased speed and health. Basically, the way this would work is you would get points for not being the it character, and you could also get points for killing other COG characters, but you can also get bonus points if you manage to kill the it character. So since if you're not it, you're getting points every, I don't know, let's just say 10 seconds you're getting points, then the it character would not be getting those points. So that's why you wouldn't want to be the it character, because then you would be getting left behind by the rest of the players. So to keep things fair, no one is getting points every 10 seconds at the start of the game when someone is first chosen at random to be the it character. Once the it character gets their first kill, then everybody else starts to get those points every 10 seconds. Alright, now let's get into the last game mode. Now this one would work best if the sawed-off shotgun was reintroduced to Gears 5. And this game mode is inspired by a game I used to play when I was in elementary school. I'm sure many of you guys played it. I don't know what it was called. I don't remember. But basically, there was 2 safe zones, and in the middle, there was someone who would try to tag people as they ran between the 2 safe zones. And if you got tagged, then you had to help the middle person tag the people who were running back and forth between these 2 zones. So basically, the way this would work is each time you cross that middle section and make it to the other side, that's the safe zone, you would get points for it. And the person in the middle who's trying to kill everybody else would have a sawed-off shotgun. And the original person would also be the only one who has a speed boost. But they would be highlighted to show that they were the original person, so you also know that they're the one who has the speed boost. And that's it. Those are all the game modes I had in mind for Gears 5 that I think would be a great addition to the next Gears game. Let me know what you guys think about these game modes in the comments down below. If you have any ideas for game modes that you think they should add in, post them down in the comments. I'll be sure to read them through. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.